Mr. Edwin Tong, Minister for Culture, Community and Youth, and Second Minister for Law, Mr. Desmond Chin, Commissioner of Charities, Mr. David Gerard, President, Securities Investors Association, Singapore, Professor Cheong Hee Kiat, President of Singapore University of Social Sciences, and Professor Robbie Goh, Provost of SESS. Ladies and gentlemen, wish you a very good morning. And as all the earlier speakers have said, it's such a joy to see so many of you joining us here, as well as about the 400 that has logged in to be with us. So warm greetings to all of you. Thank you, Minister Edwin Tong, for joining us here today and sharing our commitment to develop a well-governed and thriving charity sector. I would like to thank Securities Investors Association Singapore for their continuous support in organizing this annual conference, and Singapore University of Social Sciences for being our conference knowledge partner, providing a valuable source of insights. I'm also grateful to our esteemed speakers and panelists for taking time to share their wisdom and experiences with all of us. The theme of this year's conference is Governance Beyond Adversity. Since the start of 2022, our society continues to be affected by local and global challenges. Resources has become very tight, especially human capital. This has caused people to be even more socially conscious and value-focused so as to overcome these challenges. Increasingly, people are considering whether an organization that they are interacting with has a clear purpose, behaving ethically, are properly managed, or has values that match their own. Recently, I attended a conference of SIM Asia, the philanthropy arm of Credit Suisse. And at that conference, there were several very young, new generation philanthropists in their 40s. And the single message I took away from that conference is, they all said, we do not believe in handing out cash. We don't know how well our donations will be applied. All of them said, we are ready to fund projects. And many of them started their own projects, partnered with charities, because we can monitor and measure the impact of the projects. So I think this is a very important message. Gone are the days of the old philanthropists who gives you donations and leave it to you. Well, for the past 2 years, charities may have felt like they were firefighters, dealing with multiple challenges that keep arising, bridging gaps and responding to calls of help. Now, as we are emerging from the pandemic, it is the best opportunity for charities to regroup by renewing the commitment of your board members and management, implementing policies and processes to improve your governance and administration, and deepening your relationship with your stakeholders. So remember, today's new generation of philanthropists will not just hand out cash with no expectation. So the conference will be covering stewardship, which is very relevant. Know your purpose of existence, your purpose for being here. What are you all about? When charities board members develop strategies for their organizations, they need to be aware of the current issues and challenges that are affecting the economy and environment. As a global citizen, it is critical for charities to recognize and understand these issues so as to discover ways to leave a positive impact on the world and make decisions that help charities to be effective and sustainable. This year's conference will introduce 2 interesting topics: environmental, social, and governance, or ESG, and virtual currencies such as non-fungible tokens, NFTs. We introduced that because many charities have raised this question. What if someone offer me some NFT or crypto, should I accept it or not? So times have changed. ESG is an emerging concept, and its principles has caught on quickly with corporations. And now we have seen this movement slowly moving towards other sectors. ESG is being integrated throughout businesses and is affecting stakeholders who are intertwined to our charitable work. Although the term ESG can be daunting to many charities, when we break it down, many charities are already practicing and implementing strategies in the social and governance categories. With the effects of climate change already affecting the society, charities are strongly encouraged to think about ways to be sustainable and kinder to our environment. However, we acknowledge different organizations are at different states of readiness. Hence, charities should pace your adoption of environmental-centered practices after internal assessments and discussions with your stakeholders. Start small. Start thinking of renewable. Start avoiding unnecessary disposal or wastage. Charities have a special need to be transparent and accountable to stakeholders, especially when donors are paying more attention to how charities are conducting our charitable work than just what charities do. Non-fungible tokens or NFTs are gaining mainstream attention as huge sums of virtual currencies are being paid for these intangible artworks. Although the current climate is very tentative, some charities are interested to know more about NFTs. However, as with any new trend, I would like to emphasize to charities that it's important to conduct sufficient research and due diligence before deciding to embark on this. There are issues such as online fraud, cyber threats, and legal challenges when fundraising with these new tools that charities need to be mindful of. As we learn more about ESG and NFTs at this conference, I encourage all of us to keep an open but cautious mind when embracing these concepts. Seek advice from experts to help your charity board to understand the effect and impact of these ideas. Work together to develop appropriate policies and processes, and refer to the various governance tools and resources that can be found on the charity portal. Charities are very dependent on public trust and support to survive and be sustainable. Charities need strong governance to maintain that trust and support. Achieving the Charities Transparency and Governance Awards can help to reinforce that trust and strengthen the relationships with the public and stakeholders. I strongly encourage all eligible charities to participate in the assessment process, which assesses how well your charity scores against transparency practices and identify areas that might need improvements. We have sent out various emails to charities on this, and please also keep a lookout for the QR code that we will be sharing later during the break to access the form easily. The answer to every adversity lies in courageously moving forward with faith. I urge you to continue to forge forward together, ensure that every decision you make serves the purpose and the people that your charity exists to help. The Charity Council and COC will support you in your journey to strengthen your governance capabilities and increase public confidence in the charity sector. On behalf of the Charity Council, we hope you have a fulfilling time at the conference, learning from experts, peers, and forming new networks. We thank you for your strong commitment to achieve excellence governance. Thank you and God bless.